If you start this question clueless, you're in the majority. I feel it too. We will begin by integrating using our power rule, and that says that we're just going to add 1 to every power and divide by that number. Now if I've got the 5/2 power and I add 1 to it, well, that's the same as 2/2. So what that makes is 7/2. I'm going to divide by 7/2. Okay. And then I've got x to the 1/3. If I add 1 to that, well, that's the same as 3/3. And 1/3 and 3/3 makes 4/3. That's what I'll divide by. And then this 4, I don't see any x's. There are none of them, but I'll add 1. I don't normally say to the 1, and I'll divide by 1, but I know what that is too. Okay, so we're going to work on cleaning this up and eventually checking it out from 0 to 64, but still mostly clueless. Simplify a little bit. Okay, dividing by 7/2 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. That's 2/7. X to the 7/2 is either on the side or in the numerator. Divided by 4/3 means times the reciprocal, 3/4 of that x to the 4/3, and we've got 4x. I don't know what other simplifying to do, so we're going to go ahead and plug in 0. After we plug in 64, we'll subtract. Okay, so that is going to be 2/7 times 64 to the 7/2, not a clue, and 3/4 times 64 to the 4/3, well, we'll think about it, and 4 times 64, whatever all of this is, then we'll take away what we get when we plug in 0. Now, you know, I could write a lot and be proper, but really, this is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, and that will be 0. Thank goodness. We caught one little break. So that's 0, 0, and 0. If you take 0 to any power, multiply by 0. Okay. Well, now, as for this, we have to do an exponent before we multiply. I didn't know I was such a monster, but apparently you knew. Okay, 64 to the 7/2, I don't know, but I know the square root of 64 is 8. Apparently, 8 to the 7th is a lot. Call it 2,097,152. Yay! If I multiply that times 2, 4,194,304, that's so big. How do you read it? 4,194,304 sevenths. Okay, as for 64 to the 4/3 power, the cube root of 64 is 4. 4 to the 4th is something. 256 times 3 gives us 768 divided by 4. Okay, it's 192. And then 4 times 64, 256. Yikes. So if I do want to get a common denominator, not sure that I do, that LCD between 1 and 7 would be 7. First fraction is there already. But as for the second fraction, 1 goes into 7 times, and 7 times 192, 1,344. Next, 1 goes into 7 times, 7 times 256, 1,792. Since we have that LCD, we'll combine our numerators, call it a lot. I think I'm not even sure anymore. Oh, a lot. Probably have an error. Probably do. 4197440. Yeah, because this was wrong and that was wrong. Those were really a smaller number. 41943. 04. Well, you know, minus a couple for me. Oh, I can't bear to do this again. So, whatever. This is our answer. We won't sweat the small stuff.